No, I think these guys know what they're doing, Jay. So we're in good hands tonight.
I think these guys know what they're doing. I think they might show us a few things as well. But anyways, as we start our show and welcome everyone to Late Night Restaurant Show. It's not a podcast, you know what? And also, X and Twitter is giving me a little grief, so I'm sorry we probably will not be on there. There we go. But yeah, we have a great show, Dominic.
So, yeah,
are you excited?
It's gonna be fun. I am.
Is it the heat?
For me? No, I got AC at home. It's all good.
I know, but you look like you're hot.
That's what the girls say, Jay.
It's gonna be a long show. Anyways, we got great guests on here. They're rock stars. I can tell already. We got
more than one, which is this might be a first. Is this a first for this many?
No. We had this many with I think it was Grumpy Greg.
Oh, okay.
We had a big show then, and then Greg just complained. So that's what we call him, Grumpy Greg. Anyways, great topic. I love what they do. I think it's important. We're going to learn lots tonight. And then Dominic, as we are this month, because we are the #1 restaurant podcast in Canada, probably the only one that's crazy enough to do what we do. Have you tried your sapsucker that was sent to you?
I did. Sapsucker's off, and a couple of people at my office tried it as well. It's fantastic.
Now,
what's the flavor you got there, Jay? Is that ginger? What's that one?
This is grapefruit.
No, I had. Look, that's the pink can. Yes, I've had that one. That's spectacular. I'm not normally a grapefruit person, but I like that it's sort of just the right amount of fruit flavor to it. It's not too strong. It's not too sweet. It's just bang on. I like it a lot. And everybody at our office actually likes it. Sal likes it. Chelsea likes it. Tanya likes it. Very good.
So what would you say as a marketing thing then? What would you say there, Dominic? Because we have marketing professionals on here. What would you say was a good marketing tag for Sapsucker?
Oh, man. Are you trying to put me on the spot here, Jay?
Well, I just thought, I was thinking that you look a little sappy. Try Sapsucker.
It might be insulting to people. I don't know.
You suck? Let's try sap.
You suck. Try sap.
This is like a Super Bowl ad dream.
No, I don't think it's good. Why would you insult your customers? No.
It's not that. It's Sapsucker. It's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's made with, just so we wrap up here, because I guess we're going to leave. Oh shit! I just poured it all over my keyboard. And it won't stick because it's made with sap. So it's not sugar, so it won't wreck your keyboard when you pour it on. It's made in Canada. And
it is made in Canada?
It's made from tree sap.
It's awesome. It'd be the sap, it's the tree sap before they make maple syrup, right?
Well,
pretty sure that's it. Well, I don't know. You know what? We have to have them on and ask them.
Well, we are. Anyways, I love Sapsucker. Go for, this private message. Taste the tree. Taste the tree. Thanks, Chad. See, they're marketing geniuses already. I can tell.
Yeah, taste the tree.
Taste the tree. Stop sucking. Try Sapsucker.
Yeah.
Anyways, great stuff. You get it anywhere. Put it in your restaurant. Merry Christmas. We don't do ad shit because we're not like that, because we're not a podcast. We're not sit there and try to. We're not, what do you call it, ambulance chasing money? We don't do that. Not that money hurt, but we just don't do that. So anyways, there's our ad.
We'll take anonymous donations though, I think, right?
We will take donations into the Dominic Foundation. It's to get Dominic real goat shears. And a hairpiece. Anyways, let's get started.
Goats don't get sheared, Jay. Goats do not get sheared, buddy.
That's just Jay.
We need to take you out to the farm.
We're gonna have to go to the farm. Anyways, let's go back. These guests are gonna leave us. Anyways, enjoy tonight, folks. Sapsucker. Okay, what the frick? Our sponsor doesn't want to see you drinking water. Only you. Okay, we'll be back.
I'll have my sap. There, that's a good tagline.
Is that it?
You like that? That's a great one. I was
That's
like,
a good one.
You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining us tonight on the last late night restaurant show. Only late night show I know that has a professional goat shearer.
Do you shear goats?
He shears. I don't
Well,
know,
and now we do. It's something new. The
If
goats
it's an
don't like
Angora
it.
goat, if it's an Angora, yeah, you shave Angoras or you shear them.
it's a new thing. It's a
Yeah.
new thing.
Angora's a rabbit.
It's also a type of goat.
It's a rabbit. How the hell do you know that?
Angora sweater. I don't think Angora's a goat. Is there? Is there Angora a goat?
Angora's a rabbit, bro.
There's an Angora goat.
Angora.
But they're only in Angora, right?
That's
Or
right.
Angola.
I
Who's
don't know,
it?
but are we going on a rabbit hole on the Angora rabbit?
If we are, we're just gonna go
No,
right
we're
down
not.
in it.
Absolutely not.
People always
Let's
avoid
talk-
those rabbit
Let's
holes.
talk about our
It's not
guest,
a
Jay.
sapsuckers,
Well,
so
let's talk
Let's
about
talk
sap-
about fucking goats and rabbits.
I have more data on sapsuckers already than I ever thought I ever would.
Yeah, I'm
You
like
know,
so.
I
I've
mean,
been
let's set the
thinking
audience
about-
straight. You know, they're about 7 to 8 inches long. They weigh between 1.5 and 1.9 ounces. This is like the African swallow from Monty Python. They live in conifer forests, and they actually are known as a species of woodpecker, typically
Oh.
known as the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
There's
By
a
the
lot of
way,
other things that are between 7 and 8 inches long, and what? How many ounces?
yeah, the African swallow is around 8. This is about 9. But by the way, sap is the literal stickiest substance on Earth. And you said it went on my keyboard. It's good. It's sap. It's literally natural glue.
Is it
Yeah.
natural?
Just giving you that, right? You literally described
You know what?
glue before glue is glue is sap.
It's dripping. You know what? But it's Canadian sap.
Well, the good
It
thing
doesn't-
is it's going to smell like grapefruit in your 110 square foot office there, Jay.
I was just gonna. Yeah. Thank you.
Or pamplemousse for the people in Quebecois.
Pamplemousse, yes.
All right.
All I know is
So-
I've been trying to think of what rhymes with sapsucker now for the last 5 minutes. The only thing I've come up with is
We don't say that in play company.
lip pucker. I've got lip pucker. And
Wow.
And nut.
No,
chug.
no, he said lip pucker with a P.
Yeah.
Just we're
Lip
we're
pucker and nut chugger.
Siblings.
Oh my god. All right. I'm gonna bring it back to popcorn.
Yeah.
GTM. What do you think Dominic was gonna come up with GTM? First of all, who
it's
did
what
that?
they put after the it's like a Pontiac 6000 GTM, right? Like that.
I was thinking he was going to say get to money.
Get the
Get
money,
the money.
Michael. That's where I
Get
was
the
going.
money.
I was doing
Yeah.
right. Get the money. Get the bag.
And if you've
Yeah.
seen the history of the world, count the money, right?
The Monet.
The
Don't
money.
wait.
The money, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
His boy.
Well, gentlemen, first of all, thank you again for joining us. And you know, me and Dominic, when Dominic does show up and he's not sitting at home making sandwiches and hanging out, it's going to be a great show tonight. Anyways, who wants to start? First of all, Chad, Paul, Michael, thanks again for taking the time. We know you're busy.
Yeah.
I hope you're not sitting around
Pretty busy.
shaving goats. But tell us who wants to start with popcorn GTM. It does sound like a car.
It could. It'd be
Honey,
made
I
by
think
by
I got a
Volkswagen and
Let's
Volvo.
hear from Chad. I think let's hear from Chad.
Chad, that's like ooh, 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 ooh.
The newcomer.
Me.
Well, he might tell us the story. We might actually hear about popcorn because he's still on probation.
You better not screw it up.
Well, I'm going to tell you part of it, right? I'm going to tell you my part, and then these guys will give you the earlier part of the story, right? So,
Cool. Tell us.
Wasn't too long ago, late last year, as like I freed up my time. I was like, oh, what am I going to do next? I knew it was going to be something to do with innovative, disruptive tech, since that had become the theme of my career. And I was like checking things out, right? And meeting a lot of cool innovative tech, a lot of AI, a VR company. And I ran into Michael at a show in March, the Mertech event in Vegas. And I was hearing more about what they were doing and, sharing more about what I've been doing and in my career. And we just saw an alignment, because we'll figure out what Popcorn GTM is all about. But what was missing was a partnerships angle, right? A lot of restaurant tech companies out there, any restaurant tech company out there needs partnerships, but it was something in particular our target clientele was lacking. And so we thought it would make sense to join forces and offer that branch of services as a team. But
Cool.
The story before that is really cool too. So, but I'm going to defer to one of these guys for that part.
Paul, you want to swing at it?
I'll take a quick swing, but I'll let Michael do the story, because Michael is frankly a professional storyteller. That's what he.
Translation bullshitter.
That's. So that's
Nice
his
show.
goal.
You can
That
leave
sounds
it.
like Jay
Yeah.
for us.
So what we like to think of
Thank you.
Popcorn. Why do we name the company Popcorn, first of all? And it's
Yeah.
and it's not get the money, it's go to market. All right.
Yeah.
So Popcorn go to market. And the whole
That's what I
idea
said, guys.
Woo!
is popcorn is imagine what does popcorn start as this little
Kernel.
hard kernel, right? It's this little hard kernel with all of this amazing potential that's inside of it. And with the right amount of heat and energy and friction, it pops, right?
Cool.
And so that's the idea behind popcorn. And not only that, was it's a name that is built and ready for memes, which we frankly just don't do enough of. It's only because it's too easy. But popcorn is all about go to market, which means sales operations, marketing, and partnerships. We like to think it's that trifecta. That's the heat, the energy, and the friction that's needed to make something pop particularly in our industry, right? In the restaurant tech, you really need to have your sales down. You need to have your marketing down. You need to have your partnerships. Those things have to be aligned. And once those things become aligned, the magic kind of happens.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
who's
if you went
your
to slide
customer?
12
Michael?
What?
Sorry, Michael, give us the rest of the story, I guess.
Yeah. Well, to knit that together, if you go to slide 12 of our presentation deck, there's a slide that says "Welcome to the Machine." It is the Pink Floyd.
I
Prism,
noticed that. I
right?
noticed that in your website.
Yeah.
There was a little Pink Floyd.
Yeah, and the interlocking gears of these three kind of components, right,
I saw
driving it
Pink
all
Floyd
together.
there. I think I have that album actually.
Yeah. So we could theme it with music as we went. Just go to this, and the next thing is Genesis.
We could have
right?
done that. Yeah.
So Genesis, right? So the way we all know each other, first off, I knew Chad before the show we ran into at Mertech. We used to work together at PAR, right? But actually, when I first met Chad, we were sitting in a jail cell together. Let's be real.
What?
Yeah.
This is great.
We're in a jail cell, and
That's
because we're total nerds, we went to an escape room when everybody else went out drinking, and we were in an escape room that was a jail cell with other similar nerds at a big company event. And so we found out we like to solve puzzles together, and that's kind of how we got to know each other inside of the big company of PAR. And so in parallel, years before, I was at a company called Restaurant Magic, Data Central. It's an inventory solution. PAR bought it, and we did our job well, and we got acquired, as one wants to have happen. And during the 8 years I was there, Paul Molinari and I love who's the gal from Almost Famous? Isn't he doing like a Penny Lane thing almost?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so Penny Lane over there was my esteemed competitor at crunch time, right? And to me, this is the battle of the ages. Like, F those guys, I'm going to beat them. But the cool thing was we were always really cool with each other. Not like the funny thing is his CEO would literally chase me out of the booth, like, Beck, get out of our booth. And I'm hamming it up with everybody having a good time, right?
Yeah,
and actually, a result because of that, that's why we named our podcast, which we are, Morning Ralph and Morning Sam, because we had this great level of cordiality when we'd be around each other. But during the day, we kicked the living shit out of each other, try to win every deal. But after we're done, battered and bruised, and we're clocking out for the day, evening Ralph, evening Sam, right?
Nice.
And so, yeah, and we were actually born out of practicality. I was working for a different company, and we had a partner that was struggling with some sales stuff, and they were just acquired actually recently. They're a large POS company out of Australia, and they hired a guy that's really smart, but probably not smart for the job at hand. They hired a CIO to run North American sales, and they'd never seen that stuff before. So he's like, had honest questions. I don't know what's going on. Hey, can you look at my pipeline? Give me some advice. We were partners on a different thing, doing some webinars together. And so I dipped in, and at the very same time that this happened, Paul had just posted something. Was it October, Paul? September?
Yeah. It was like the end, almost like the end of COVID. And
yeah. So he put up this piece, and I loved it. It was do you blur your background or don't you, on LinkedIn, right? And that's kind of provocative. What do you put up? Do you? Don't you? Do you hide it? Do you let your freak flag shine? Do you let people know who you are, right? And so because the room I'm in, I have some very strong opinions about it, because this is literally a museum to all things Marvel Comics. It's all big statues of Marvel here, right? So I pull off.
What was that?
Dominic.
That was me
okay?
sneezing. Yeah, I'm okay.
DC guy, clearly. And so I answered, and we started talking about blur, no blur. And then after that, it was, hey, are you using ChatGPT? Yeah. What kind of prompts are you using? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And the next thing I know, he takes me aside and goes, dude, you want to see something cool? I'm writing books with AI. And I wrote a modern marketing treatise he wrote 3 treatises on modern marketing. One as compared to the master. So Machiavelli.
Oh, wait a sec. How about if people don't know that ChatGPT wrote it? Are you out here?
No, the idea, check out this premise. This is like the coolest thing in the world, all right? This is how people should be using ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing you do is you prompt the machine to think that it's Machiavelli. All right. You feed it as much information as you can about Machiavelli and the Prince and all of like the strategic principles of Machiavelli's The Prince. And then you ask Machiavelli, how do you compare, how do you take these Machiavellian principles and apply it to marketing principles? Right. And so you start thinking strategically. You start putting these strategic principles of Machiavelli into the context of modern marketing. Right. And so it came out so incredibly well. It was really cool. It's like 75 pages or so, of questions and things and I structured it in a way. And I thought, holy shit, what if we do this Sun Tzu? All right, now you're Sun Tzu.
Art of War.
With the art of war. And how do you overcome marketing challenges in the frames in the mindset of art of war?
Keep your enemy closer.
And all of these, right? So, and I did another one with Plato, which was like the ethics of marketing.
Yeah, you just built little houses out of.
Did you say Play-Doh or Plato?
Well, at first it was Play-Doh, and then I
yeah.
Spell check got me, and that's the beauty.
It's like you had to get the little barber chair to get the hair.
Yeah, the hair squeezes out.
Fun factory.
Yeah, and then it gets all dry, and then it dried up, and
we all know we tried eating it. Let's not lie.
Right.
Yeah. So
let me,
the
let me ask something now.
Good.
Well, geez, let him talk.
Sorry.
That's
No,
okay.
but the reason I need to ask though is because, Popcorn was born. Like you're going to take some of these principles, but who are you helping?
Yeah.
Who is Popcorn made to help?
100%.
Did you do your homework? Obviously not.
Right?
Jay, we had an audience, man.
Yeah. So to bring the audience along for the journey, this person that we were helping with this POS company turned into our first customer. Right? We helped them look at their marketing plan. We looked at how they were doing selling. We looked at pipeline, and literally Paul and I just go, we could do this for a business. We could help people, right? And there's some really
we
fantastic
help training companies.
Well, we're helping launch. We're helping everything that they need beyond that one big idea that they brought to the surface in this tech that they have, right? We're focused on tech. And so what's tech? Tech is really smart people making solutions. but maybe they're
Uh-huh.
isolated. They might not have a tribe.
They don't
They might
qualify.
not have the partners they need. They might not have the language they need. They might not have the style, the swagger, the color, the vibe to give this thing life, right? And we want to Pinocchio that bitch. We want to make it a real boy. You know,
Right.
that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's so many smart people out there, and there's no shortage of solutions to these challenges that restaurants face, right? I mean, there's, and the best part about, I guess, ChatGPT and other AI is that there are new solutions that are coming all the time. And what Michael, Chad, and I do is we help these players, these smart tech founders that have these great ideas, but not necessarily the experience inside the industry, or even, or maybe this is their first startup. Maybe they got some funding. Maybe they're still searching for other funding. But the idea is that if it's a solution that makes sense to us, you know, we go through our own interviewing process. You know, we get calls all the time from restaurant technology companies asking.
Yeah, we have to believe in it first.
Yeah, we have to believe in it, and
Okay.
if the solution is good and it's real, and we see the practicality of it, and we see the real use case, then and it makes sense for everybody, then yeah, we take them on as a client, and because we believe in it, and this is, and we help them put the structure to go to market.
Yeah, and as far as who it is, you know, we're looking at the emerging brands, the folks that are breathing down the entrenched competitors, you know, the established incumbents, the neck. We don't, as much as I love PAR and Micros and all these big companies, I don't want anything to do with doing the business with them. They're big, they're already established. We're not going to move the needle.
Yeah.
Everything's
No.
bureaucracy. We like the
And
fun of the action, the speed, the creativity, the energy.
The novel concepts,
Right? Yeah.
you know.
I think it also gives you room to be innovative and out of the box with a non-established brand that has something to prove, right? They have to get noticed. And
Agreed.
yeah, that's cool. That's exciting actually, right?
Yeah.
It is exciting. You know what, Dominic? And the thing is, though, and this is one of the things that I think we even have to check ourselves on. You know, one of the things that, you know, we want to bring that excitement. We want to bring something different to the table. We want to be able to tell their story in a way that, you know, is not cookie cutter and is beige and vanilla as everything that we've kind of seen out there. But, you know, as you go down the path of a go-to-market strategy, you realize that the reality is that it has to be a disciplined approach, right? So when you're putting together a strategy, you have to make sure that all the dots connect and that things are going to make sense, you know, financially. And so as badly as you want to, you know, break out and do really cool and different and incredibly different things, you do have to have a tempered approach, and make sure that, you know, the message is first, right? You really have to land on what the brand is and what it's about, and make sure that everything that you do becomes clear through that messaging and that alignment. So as much as you want to, you know, be different and do different, there's still a lot of blocking and tackling that has to be set up in the beginning to make sure everything is aligned from a brand perspective.
I have a question here. So, Paul, on that, I want to just jump in. Dominic, is that okay?
Go for it,
Okay,
Jay.
thanks, buddy.
Make sure it's
It'll
on
be a
topic, Jay.
as they say up here, it'll be a humdinger.
Keep it on topic there, buddy.
Fuck no. I just want to say, because I come into this situation all the time, is like, how do you get over where people look at what you're doing and stuff, and it may look like fun or bizarre or crazy, but there's a lot of strategy and ideology behind it, planning. It's hard work, but how do you overcome that when people go, you guys are just being goofballs, or your marketing is like very out there, that's different than anything else out there? How do you overcome that when people look at you going like, who are you guys? And you guys are obviously doing amazing stuff. How do you get over that? Because I run into this
on
myself.
this answer. So Let's go
What was
round robin. I think all of us own a part of this answer, honestly.
See, it's
because
a
one is
fucking
the
good
message-
one, Dominic. I
Yeah,
told
so
you.
this,
I'm
this,
working
this
on
is a
this all
zinger.
day.
You get the award on this one. Paul, why don't you start on the messaging side? Because I think Chad, you can knit that together with the kind of the networking partners and people, how we make that, because there's quantifiable, right? You're talking about some fun, zingy shit, right? But then how do we substantiate that is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
How do we anchor
100%.
that? So, yeah, Paul, you good to start there?
I think, well, first at the very top, right, Jay, you need to start with the structure of understanding what is the objective, right? So it's the classic, what's the objective? What's the strategy? What are the tactics? How do you measure it, right? So that's
Yeah.
objective. What are we working towards? Strategy. How are we going to do that? What are we going to do? How are we going to measure that success? So once I think that you gain alignment on what the goal is, and you start to talk strategy, well, it becomes a very natural conversation around, what is your brand's value proposition, right? So because when you talk strategy, you have to have the conversation of like how you're solving the pain points. How are you, why do you exist? Why should anybody care? Right. So, and through that, we have an exercise that maybe you've done one in the past. It's called message mapping.
Yeah.
You literally will take a brand through all of the reasons why they exist, what their value proposition is, what their key differentiators are, who are the personas they're selling to, what are their pain points, how do they solve those pain points, what are the values of solving those pain points across the, and so on and so forth. Once that message map is done, it's complete. We laminate it, we put it under glass. Everybody in the company understands exactly what we're doing. And from that, now we have basically a touchstone that's there for the rest of the way. It's there with us for the rest of the ride. That's the way it should work. And so when Michael puts, and I'll let him tell his story and Chad do his. But when they start working their parts of the trifecta of the machine, we all have this thing that we all understand, who we are and what we do. When I say we, I mean the client. Why do they exist?
That's kind of a good segue spot, right? I don't know if you guys read Jocko Willink or all, but I love the idea of decentralized management, right?
Yeah.
The idea is a military concept that if somebody gets taken out, the mission goes on, right? And this really does kind of boil down to more of a decentralized management, that we all know what the goal is. We all know how the brand speaks. I use the sketch artist composite analogy all the time, saying if your brand was a person, what would they wear? How would they dress? What words would they say? What kind of car do they drive? What music do they listen to? And all of a sudden, this guy or gal, right? And now it's like, what would Jesus do? Well, what would your brand say? It's not that. So people start getting congruent. So now let's look at this is that Paul is now my outfitter. I'm a soldier. I'm going off to war. What's he doing to me? He's giving me my backpack. It's filled with all kinds of good shit as far as language, messages, all the stuff I don't have to figure out as a sales guy and invent. Everything I say, everything my team says, everybody around me, we're all saying the same language. It's all cumulative, and it's a constant and compelling wave that moves them toward the right decision, which is what we're offering, right? And so there's a lot of this, and you'll hear military analogies out of me all the time, like the idea of Private Ryan, right? So when the invasion force was hitting on D-Day, everybody sees all the soldiers running up the beach and getting shot, but you know what happened beforehand? Battleships were blowing the shit out of the beachhead with cannons for hours and softening it up.
Air cover, baby.
Yeah, that also looked really sexual. Sorry. Oh, right. Anyways, I guess it's all in war, right? Anyways, but the reality is it made it easier when the troops landed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sales are easier when the message makes sense, and when by the time you ever get to your client, they've already made the decision about you. In absence of a message, they've made a decision about you. With your message, they probably made a better decision about you. And if they keep hearing it at every corner that they turn, they already know something about you that they didn't know they knew.
All right, now Chad, I've got the greatest segue for you that stays on the forefront. You better hit this, man.
Let's hear it.
Slow pitch.
Slow pitch.
Allies, Chad, allies.
Low pitch.
Yeah. So where my head's going right now is that, Paul talk, as Michael talk, what we're helping our clients do is really understand and then communicate who they are, right? And then that dovetails perfectly with a partnership strategy. So, give you an example of this: the NRA show, National Restaurant Show in Chicago in May. Michael and I are there with our clients, and we call it, Sherpaing these guys around. And we knew, right, based on the experiences that we had, the 98% of the room, right, that we could ignore. What we were there to do was help our partners find, based on who they are, right, now knowing who exactly they are, who are good partners in the industry for them. Because a good partnership is kind of like a good relationship. When it works, it just works, right? It's like, it doesn't feel forced. You don't have to wonder, I don't know, is this going to work out? It's like, it's definitely going to work out. You still have to put work into it, but it's firing on multiple cylinders. And we were able to go, introduce our clients right up to the partners in the room for whom that was true of them, right? Where it's like, where have you been all my life, right? Kind of partners, and just help nurture those relationships based on what we already knew, because we knew who our clients were, and we knew the people in the room, and we knew who would like who, and who would be able to work well together. And so, there's multiple dimensions of the partnership side, but that kind of ties into what these other guys were saying, right? Is that there's just so much benefit that comes out of starting with the basics and getting your identity very clear.
So it's like having Neuralink before it's publicly available, or the Matrix. I know Kung Fu, right? I know you're a person now at Five Guys. Because we one of the things they both said was we couldn't have done this in 3 years, even if you gave us a map to where everybody was.
Holy shit.
So it's all about acceleration. That is the key word in all of this.
Accelerant.
Well, yeah.
I think that the perfect way. I almost wish we called it popcorn accelerant.
Why not?
Go trademark
2.0.
that right now and get the website.
Dominic will be like, I'll fucking get the domain.
He's gonna sell it to us later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, blew that one. So I have a question here, because I want to make it sound like I'm so serious, but so you guys must be insanely busy, because I've worked with thousands of restaurants, and this is an area that they didn't go to school for, they didn't learn about this.
Well, they're taking tech companies, but I think the next question is how, Jay, and not to cut you off, but you're off track here.
Way to go. No, but I'm saying, like,
I think you're right.
The industry.
I agree.
Listen, Jay,
you look like I just swallowed something sideways.
Maybe we're actually in the wrong area. Maybe we should be working with restaurants.
What I was going to say, Jay, before you go there, is that what they're doing does translate, because restaurants aren't doing anything near what you're doing. Now, are they going to find partners? They could find community partners that they could work with, like the people, the entities might be different, right? It might not be another tech partner. It might not be another brand, but it could be a community partner. It could be a fellow restaurant that they work together with to advance their community, advance their area. When there's a lot of restaurants want to be near restaurants a lot of times, right? Because of, it brings people in. It brings a lot of people in. It gives people choices. And now I think the principles that you're applying to emerging tech or new tech does apply, Jay, on the marketing side to restaurant. We know restaurants don't do enough marketing. The good ones do it well.
It applies to any company.
Exactly. That's why I asked, would you work with a training company?
That's right.
Would you work with a late night non-podcast show?
It's not. It's not.
No.
No, why I say this is, like, honestly, this is the gap that the industry has, is what you offer to tech and to startups.
Yeah.
The industry needs this too, is what I'm trying to get across.
100%.
Is that,
I'm with you.
Have you guys looked at that? Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I'm looking at this going, all I'm thinking about is the amount of restaurants out there. And this is also similar to what you said, Michael, is it's not the startups or the big guys. It's these 10 to 20 locations. or these locations that are slowly trying to grow. And why I'm saying it's no different than Troy from Pepper Lunch is on there. He's getting to a point where he's going to need to pull in an agency like you guys to grow their brand even further. You have the DNA for what's missing right now within the food service and hospitality industry on the other side of the fence. You guys have the solutions already because you're thinking like they should be. That's why I was kind of like, what's the gap? Like, are you showing up to meetings in suits? I highly doubt it. And that's what this industry needs is more guys like you guys that are showing up and being disruptive in the space than it is what we've seen traditionally. Because I know agencies, I've worked with tons of them across this country, and they don't have the recipe that you guys are talking about on that side. How do we pull you over to the other side where I can give you, 6,000 restaurants tomorrow to go do this with them? Because right now there's like the noise, like you say, break through the noise on your website here. Well, guess what? The restaurant industry right now, it's very blah. Like it's all like no one's doing so much. There's a few, and the few that are like Brooklyn Dumpling, they're crushing it. But what are they doing? They're disrupting, and no one has that DNA in the industry. They suffer from it. And I honestly, I was just making the correlation there, and I was like, "Fuck, you guys like come over on this side too, because we need you over here." I'm not shitting you, like huge amount of business because they don't think like that. They're not doing journey maps or mapping. I do a journey map with customers, and one of the things that we work on tomorrow is actually one of my big coaching customers. We're working on their marketing, and we're going to start talking about marketing, and they don't do any, zero, little. Yeah. And it's like, what? But the worst thing to do is put them with a typical agency that does the same thing over and over again, or they go over
it's amazing. Media. Like you're saying, I hear that too. I just had a conversation with a colleague who in the States has many clients, many mid-size restaurant clients. She's a marketing consultant, and a lot of her clients are very successful restaurant chains that are family owned, that have been around for a long time, right?
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, they just got into such a groove where they, in some ways, kind of forgot what they were and who they are and why they exist, right? And it's just kind of same old, plodding along. And there does seem to be an opportunity out there for restaurants. Never mind the ones that are starting off and just and going to market, understanding exactly what they are and what their value prop is. But what about all of those really successful restaurants out there that are kind of like stuck in a rut?
100%, Paul.
There's tons of them.
There's a pile of them. Like it's huge because they don't know what the next move is. And what's happening also is that the overall consumer base is shifting faster than they are. Right. So they're always behind. So when you look at what consumers are looking for, they're being influenced by so much on social, whatever else. And we have people over here not even on social. Like how many restaurants were for the Calgary Stampede that we just had up here in Calgary? How many restaurants are on social media talking about the amazing stuff they're going to be doing for Stampede? You could probably count them in one hand, and you had over 1 million people attend the Stampede. Wow. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's a gap.
Near 1.5, yeah.
Generational, Jay. Do you think that's because these are generational brands that have older people at it, the kids are taking over and they're starting to slot in and using some of the better thinking?
You're 100%, Michael. But I think also what's happening is that we're seeing that shift over. Like I would say you're screwed 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago. But what we're seeing now is that shift over and they're lost. And that's why we see a huge demand on educational components of marketing, or people are taking courses to learn this stuff online. We see a demand through the roof right now, online training, like Dominic's got.
Yeah.
We see a huge demand for those right now because people are shifting over to the new way. They want to get better.
Well, I think they are thinking about it, but the numbers that are doing it in the grand scheme of things are very small still. It's not a lot, right? Like I think there's the generational gap. I think that's a big one. There's we're going to be extra cautious because the economy's tight, and
I think it's
you know,
also
all
the
that
nature
stuff.
of how restaurants are one of the few apprenticeships that are still in the country, right? Like if I work for a cobbler, I'm going to learn to be a cobbler and I'm going to learn how to make shoes, right? And so if I'm in a restaurant, I'm learning to serve dishes, serve food. I'm learning to prepare food, to clean, to serve guests. But what am I not learning how to do? All that other stuff we just talked about. So I may become a GM, haven't worked my way up the ranks, but I didn't just even have that my orbit except for look at that report.
Yeah.
Right. I think,
And then we
I mean,
know, you know, they're not even looking at those reports. A lot of times they're not getting the right information out of it because, you know, for many reasons. But
we're not analysts for one.
well, exactly. Right? Yeah, that's, you know, and AI is going to help with that. And having one of the themes I think of our show is that a lot of times restaurants are stuck. They're stuck in that old thinking. They're stuck in, I can't make a move because I'm afraid. I can't make the move because I don't have enough money. There's all these barriers that are, a lot of them are self-imposed, right?
Yep.
And they don't necessarily even go out there to look, maybe because of age, maybe because of fear, maybe because of, you know, you know, people, we talk about this all the time. They won't go to a trade show, right? They wouldn't look online. They would think, hey, you know what? You know, I'm not going to put this high-tech piece of equipment in my kitchen. It's out of, you know, it's a rationale. I can't afford that. Yeah. Well, that was 30 years ago. You know, there's so much competition in that space now, and the tech has come so far ahead. And really, it's the same in marketing. Back to what Jay said, the old school way of thinking, I'm going to go to a traditional agency and they're going to do this, and this for me. Yeah, probably. There's probably still lots of those guys out there, but there's lots, you know, there's companies like yourself that are doing it on the tech side to say, no, we can do it a little differently, and we're going to help you. We're going to help you launch. So
it's funny because I was talking to Sean Waltrip today. He's like, the biggest lie that anybody ever said is, if you build it, they will come. Let people know it's there, right?
Yeah.
And I know you guys talked to, I believe you were talking with one of our clients the other day, Shireen. I think she was on from Akira. Like there's tools out there now that, like, before it was, hey, I got this really cool thing. If you work really hard on it, you put some stuff into it, it'll do some things for you, like the stuff Paul and I used to sell, inventory solutions, right?
Yeah.
You go count some stuff, you put it in, it tells you your variance, blah, 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 right? But now there's things out there that are actual replacements for human work. Different.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And we need to get people hip to that. Like, so Akira, right? What does it do? It sits over as many locations you have, giving full language reviews, not stars and a couple sentiments, full language. And then it creates a theme on it. Here's the shit that they're talking in Texas. Here's what they're talking about in Canada. Here's the main subject in this area. And here's why your brand's in decline. And here's the thing you actually need to do and say to them, not here's another graph and you figure it out at corporate.
Right.
Yeah.
Putting the tools in
I think
needs to happen.
You know, what we do is we help a little bit to get that out there.
You help a little bit. You always downplay us.
No, well, Jay, we're doing our small part. Like we're not, you know, we're trying for sure. We need more. We need everybody to start thinking like this, because it can make a massive difference, right? It can.
Well, here's, and I don't mean to disrupt your business more. I absolutely love what you guys do, and what you're doing is incredible. I'm jealous. I just see that there's an opportunity massively to put more popcorn, but into the industry. Like, I'm going through your website going, like, guys, you just need to, like, it's one degree over on your popcorn. Don't burn
equity in the industry there, right?
But like, you nail like everything.
Soap. How do you put more soap in soap?
You do. Like, you look at this and you look at the models of what you have. It's funny that Sean didn't pick that up, but it is where the gap is right now, and we see it big. And like I said, I work with so many locations that just are stuck, and we don't see the disruptive mindset come into it. Hey, Vince is listening in as well. Hi, Vince. I haven't seen you in a while, but I do think it is important to consider, like, to look at that, because you guys have what we need. Like, Vince would probably agree with us, right? We need to.
I agree as well. Paul said it right. He said it really can apply to any industry, to anywhere. If they looked at marketing and just look at it with a fresh new look. Like
Vince,
I guess what we
Vince
preach
gets
about every day,
all-
Jay.
Well, Vince is like one of the smartest guys I know too. So many small businesses owners struggle with marketing. Guess what? He is so right.
Mhm.
And there's a massive opportunity. So we just need a little bit more popcorn. Now,
So you can ask yourself, well, what can they do, right? So we can speak tactically. And again, I think this is relevant for any industry, whether it be a restaurant technology company or a restaurant.
Yeah.
Tactically, what can you do to get the ball rolling, right? And just to bring it back to Akira, right? What do they do? They do customer reviews. They manage customer reviews. Well, customer reviews are a huge part of the restaurant business, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your reviews can literally make or break you. So what's the one thing that you should do if somebody gives you a review?
Reply.
Respond.
Reply. Yeah, respond. Yeah.
That's right. If it's a great review, thank you so much.
Yep.
Oh, we're so glad you like it. We really hope we see you again. If it's a bad review, figure out why.
We'll do better. We hear
We'll
you.
do better. I mean, so like that's marketing, because that's some of the best marketing that you can ever get. It's a Google review. It's free. And if you ghost your customers, if you ghost your guests, you don't respond, whether good, bad, or indifferent. If they are taking the time to write something about your establishment and you're not doing anything or saying anything about it, then you just struck out, my friend.
Yeah.
So much of effective marketing.
What's next for you guys? What you
Other
just
than-
launched? When did you launch? When did you officially start your company?
Our corporate paperwork was filed in January.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're brand new,
Yeah.
We're brand new. Right now we have like
and Chad's still on probation. Yeah.
So
Chad's
wait,
still-
He's doing okay. He's doing
no,
okay.
he's Chad is we joke.
Chad.
Chad's a glue guy.
Well,
made
that's
it
so.
snap.
When you brought Chad in, you're now looking at partnerships. But Jay, they're brand new.
No, but I'm just like poor Chad.
No. But Chad, I'm gonna bring it back to the glue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna bring it back to the glue.
Yeah.
He's the sap.
Sorry, let's have a
He's
quiet
the
moment. Let's hear. Hey, Dominic, bring
I'm
it back
sorry,
to
Chad.
the blue.
Chad, don't be offended.
I'm not.
When you bring Chad in and you start looking at, okay, now we're going to have partnerships, or I don't, you referred to him as something else.
There are all kinds of things.
Well, I think he's
Partners, alliances.
a function of what he
Alliances.
does is sets up partnerships. A big part of restaurant technology is partnerships, right? Because so you're in a technology stack when you're working with restaurant clients. Chad, how many different systems might be inside of a typical restaurant?
Oh, geez. If we're talking enterprise brand, probably 15.
So
Wow.
50 different
You know,
systems. Most of those
SMBs,
things
the
have to
smaller
talk to
restaurants,
one
less.
another, right?
But I want to talk about a part of partnerships that I think ties into this conversation well that I don't normally talk about, but I will today, right? So partnerships, like this happened today with Kira, another Kira story, but like partners, they were talking to another company and they were really bonding over, what I'll just call it a cultural, philosophical similarity, right? I would say it this way. They both recognize what we're talking about. Restaurants are not technologists. Restaurateurs are not technology people. But when they were talking about that, there was love, like and respect's like, hey, that's not their jam. I'm not judging you for it. That's just these people. They love and care about other things.
Yeah.
And so what did that mean, right? Both these companies had the same North Star, which is we have to make our products really, really easy, right? And whenever we can, right? Akira and AI, you can see how they would do that with the review responses. But like, okay, meet our customer where they're at, recognize their strengths and limitations, and come up with solutions that fit them. And it's the other myth, right? Yeah, I agree, right? Build it, they will come true, right? That is a lie, right? Another one is like another saying is like the best solution does not always win, right? Like,
No, that's so
Literally.
true.
product of the world unless you are discovered and implemented.
But part of that is that due to marketing?
Yes, largely.
You know, you can have a really bad product with great marketing, and all of a sudden it wins for sure, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's
I
other.
think it happens all the time.
factors, like, yeah, there's politics,
No, for sure.
inroads, all other stuff too, right?
You know, we used to have
Yeah.
a saying in a company that I work, you know, nobody ever got fired for choosing us. Right.
Yeah.
And that was something that we would, my previous company, you know, we would be able to hang our hat on that. We'd say that, you know, during the pitches and whatnot, you know, nobody ever got fired when it was us. And, you know, in a joking sort of way, but not really, because, and
You were a safe bet.
the safe bet, right? I mean,
Risk is a
everybody
thing.
needs a little bit of CYA. Everybody needs to feel that comfort.
Yeah.
And it may not be the best solution, but
No.
maybe the safest bet.
Wow.
As far as what
I'm
you
excited about where you guys are going. I think it's very cool.
Yeah,
I'm
so
with
that's
Jay
what I
as
was
well.
gonna say. So
I'm with Jay. I wish that, and you know, maybe you're going to have a second company, but I wish restaurants would embrace the idea of just doing any sort of marketing that's different than what they're doing right now. Jay, I think restaurants need that. But back to what Paul was saying though, they need that first little bit of really rediscovering or discovering for the first time what they're about. And we know we talk about storytelling a lot, and you know the community needs to know. COVID kind of brought that out in some restaurants, and that a lot of them were part of the community, and they were important to what was happening in the community. They support the softball teams and the hockey teams, and they did all that for the community. And some people kind of forgot about that, but it was also because the restaurants weren't doing a good job in telling that story. And because they got complacent or for whatever reason. So I'd like to see sort of a marketing 101 for restaurants from you guys, and what it would look like to help restaurants and say, hey, just do this little journey. We need 15 minutes of your time once a week for 4 weeks until you kind of just think a little different about your brand.
Dominic, have us back. We'd love to do it.
Okay.
We're going to have
another arm of your
every
business.
week for the next 4 weeks. We'll have a
a master series.
Well, here's the other thing too. Well, the other thing is that a lot of restaurants are using AI, right? We know that. I'm with you. Like, I'm one that'll, I don't have a problem telling people that I wrote this with AI. Like, I think it's like, hey, like, I'm not ashamed of it, and it's.
No, but you said a lot of restaurants are using AI, Jay. No, a lot of restaurants are not using AI.
Some are dabbling in the marketing space using AI.
Well, that's not a lot there, buddy. Come on. Like, no, but if it's 1% are using AI, I think you'd be lucky. I don't know if the other guys agree with me.
Different kinds of AI, right? There's a utility. There's people that are plopping some crap into ChatGPT, saying, making me some copy and content, and that dog crap is going out.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
They're not giving it love, right?
No, exactly.
What we're talking about is AI utility.
Yeah.
Right. Akira monitors thousands of comments.
Yeah.
We have another.
Yeah, that's a brilliant thing.
Spatial AI. I can point my phone at a storage cabinet and it'll tell me how much of everything is on the shelf.
Yeah.
I didn't move a thing.
And it took you 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
like
there.
7 hours a week without counting anymore.
And restaurants are just not there, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think the thing is that that's what they're doing right now is they're playing around, and they're thinking that's what it is, and it's not even the icing. It's not even the start of it. And I think the more they understand, that's why I see what you guys are doing in the fit and the connection would be massive for our industry. And I just think also the culture that you guys have, the energy you have, the ideology that you have, the modeling, everything else that you do, we're missing it, guys, on this other side of the fence. But I love what you guys do. I really do. I think it's incredible. The vibe, though, like Lynn, trust me, I've seen it from coast to coast. I've seen a lot of agencies. You guys are rocking it, man. I just want to thank you. I know we have to wrap up, Dom, at your appointment, but I just want to thank you. And it goes fast.
Man. We appreciate you. Yeah. We love what you do. We love that you're the Texas of Canada. That's the best.
Alberta is. We are for sure. We are.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Yeah, we don't listen to anyone. And
I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have guns though, yes, but we have other.
No,
things.
we got guns, Jay. Come on, we've got lots of guns.
Sorry, okay, I gotta tell you guys have never heard this. So we used to have we used to have a premier, way back in the day, and it would be similar to your what do they call it in the States, your governor.
Governor.
We have we have a premier. Our
Was that a
premier
Russian thing? They had Premier Gorbachev back in the day. Like you had a
Yeah.
premier.
Yeah, I like
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
So here's what it is. So back in the day, we had Mad Cow up here, way back. Like this is 2000, I think it was Dominic, 2001 or
Something like that. Yeah.
Anyways, our premier got on a radio show or something like this, or in front of people, and he said, "Okay, next time that happens, you shoot, shovel, and shut up." And that's our motto up here in Alberta. So shoot, shovel, and shut up. That's how we roll.
Not
That's
bad.
Alberta.
That covers a lot of things. Bad politics, shoot, shuttle, shut up.
Shut up.
Mafia, shoot, shovel, shut up.
Yeah,
Whatever.
bad relationships, bad partnerships.
Don't say the P word with Dominic. But
Jay, you're
gentlemen,
got us going down the wrong road here, buddy.
I know, fuck. I don't even want to say the P word. Don't do it. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I love what
thanks
you
so
do.
much.
Awesome. Incredible. By the way, I'm blown away. You guys have a podcast. One day, Dominic, we will have a podcast. We don't have one yet, guys.
Well, we're gonna have him back to our not a podcast, to our late night show, because we want to. And I will craft the questions, and your mic will be off, Jay.
Yeah, they'll be like later talking like,
Oh wow, we're back to the debate.
we came on this not a podcast, and they fucking telling us how to do our business. Like, Jesus. I'm sorry, guys. Anyways, I love what you do. Awesome stuff. And
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
you guys
exciting.
up and build us up here. Awesome. Dominic?
Very exciting. Yeah.
We'll see
No,
you guys later.
I'm super impressed, Jay. I think what they're doing is awesome. I'm with you on the. I'd like just restaurants to start thinking about it. I think they've got, how Paul laid that out is something that probably every business should do. Never mind, I'm thinking about it for our own business. That's why I said, hey, who do you work with? Is it just have to be tech? Yeah, you got to like him. And Chad said that as well. The review company, we liked when we were talking after about pricing. We like what they're doing, because they're trying to help restaurants. That's the first thing. But the philosophy is good. It's just month to month. There's no long-term contracts. Like, it's just super, 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 super easy. Personally, our business is kind of around that concept as well, is what are all the other problems people are having and how do we make it easy? And I think if restaurants, again, looked at that, just even from that concept, what are the pain points that customers are having? They're going to have immediate success, because there's a lot of restaurants out there that are doing it the wrong way. They're doing it shittily, right? They're pissing customers off. By not answering reviews.
I latched right onto that too. That's a great word.
Isn't this shittily?
Yeah.
Can you say it again?
That's a t-shirt.
You're doing it.
again. Say it, Dominic.
They're doing a shitty job of it, yeah. Shittily.
Italy. Italy.
Not Italy. We're not talking about Italy.
Oh, you said shittily.
Shittily? Yeah, they're doing it shittily. I think that's in the Oxford Dictionary, you guys. Go fucking look it up, man.
Really? Fuck off.
Shittily?
Yeah, it's okay. Good.
Yeah. An hour later, that's all I remember. It kept saying shittily. Gentlemen, we got to go.
Yeah, I think we ended on a great note there.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
We'll do it again. You'll come on ours.
Yes.
Yes.
We're-
Shittily.
Well, don't put it that way, but yeah, we'll be on your show for sure. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, yeah.
There you go, shittily.
Oh, Jay.
Why do I let you out of that room?
Go watch Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Have you seen that show?
Yes, that's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Shittily? Did they use the word shittily?
No. It's like you let me out of the room, right? There's a cork on the end of my fork too when I eat.
All right. Well, thanks again,
Bye,
Dominic.
Jay.
And Dominic, just wait before you go. I hope you enjoy your sapsucker tonight.
I will. Tomorrow again at the office, we'll be sharing that. We might take a picture and send it to you, Jay.
Well, don't be a
No,
sap.
to you. Yeah, I'm seeing the nutritional panel there, buddy. I want to see the front of the can. What flavor? Oh, yeah, grapefruit.
Anyway, thanks to
Cool.
everyone else that joined us tonight. You have your sap. Honestly, it'd be great for restaurants. Probably make a lot of money out of it. Probably be good with booze too. Anyways, have a great night, everyone. Dominic, always a pleasure. Enjoy your goat.
Thanks, Jay.
Over to you.
Have a good night.
Ciao.